Hi everyone, this is Cheryl. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today I'm going to be sharing a follow-up to a video I posted a while ago. I know we're at Christmas in July, but I have to take a little break because this previous video I recorded, it was called TEMU Stamps and Dies Haul. Let's see how they work. And I got over around 40 comments on that. Basically because of this one die set I got that I was having trouble with. And y'all were so kind and generous to take time out to comment and let me know some tips, tricks on how I can make this die work for me. And I just wanted to share it with you and let you know how, if I have changed my mind about this die and what all I learned from my wonderful viewers. So this is the die set. It's a file die. I'll link it below. And this file die is fabulous. Love it. It works great, of course. And then these tabs work great. I still have some paper in it from cutting it out. And then these specimen cards work fabulous. I did some. Okay, specimen cards works great. And you get these extra, let's see here, this, cut out this little paper, which fits right into your specimen die card. But we have the file tab, which works great. Been using that for a project I'm getting ready to show you guys about with a Christmas planner. And this is fine. Okay, so what I was having trouble with were these little bitty numbers and then getting these tiny little dies to cut all the letters and numbers out. So I will go over the comments I got that were super helpful and that I appreciated so much. So Creative Trish says the small specimen words and numbers fit inside one of the small rectangle dies. I've been very happy with their stamps. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so I don't think I ever used the word specimen on my last video. I'm not familiar with the specimen die and stamp world, so I'm just learning, so I appreciate that being brought to my attention. And so these little rectangle pieces is what she's saying, and I have it right here. So this rectangle piece is this right here, and then you could fit one of the dies that say number and then have a number next to it and cut it right on there, and it'll cut that out. So that fits perfect. She is correct. That works wonderful. In fact, I did it right here. It's kind of hard to see exactly, but you just are left with basically the negative. And the reason, and somebody did mention that, let's keep going before I get there. So thank you, Creative Trish. She also says how it cuts depends on the platform that you're using. She has a Sizzix switch and the pressure can be too much at times. She's had her Big Shot for years, but she uses a piece of paper or cardstock if it doesn't do the trick. Oh, to let her know. So that is one of the tips. Add a piece of cardstock to your Big Shot. Now let me tell you why I was able to, let me show you all of these. I got out my Gemini Jr. I normally use a Big Shot. I was gifted a Gemini Jr. years ago, and I would use it, and I love it, but I misplaced the platforms to it a while ago, and I finally found them. So I have been using my Gemini Jr. to cut out these specimen numbers and letters, and it works great. I've had no problem with my Gemini Jr. But in case somebody is using a Big Shot or something similar, I wanted to let you know these tips that were given to me. You might already know them, but look how little these letters are and the numbers. This is crazy. But they're cut perfectly with my Gemini Jr. But if you have a Big Shot, maybe add a piece of cardstock to give it a little more pressure to cut them out. And then Loriana asked, are the words supposed to be embossed and not cut? And I think myself and also Creative Trish commented that they are supposed to be cut out, and she only had one letter in a word that didn't fully cut out. So yes, they are not meant to be embossed, but actually cut out. And in my previous video, it did look embossed because they weren't cutting out all the way. So yes, another Trisha, let me know that it's called a specimen die, so thank you, I appreciate that. One person mentioned putting wax paper, running your die through the cutter with wax paper. It makes things a lot easier. Okay, so there's one. Another person says put a dryer sheet between your die and your paper and your cutouts will pop right out. So another helpful tip. Thank you, Debbie Fahey. She also mentions putting an extra layer of cardstock or a metal plate in when you're running it through, just giving it more pressure so it'll push down harder and cut those little pieces out. Brenda Skeen says she hasn't tried, she buys a lot from TEMU, and she's liked what she's gotten so far. She uses a MISTI or Stamparatus with her stamps, and she finds that works a lot better. So I appreciated that suggestion because I do have a MISTI and I just don't use it. I haven't used it in years, so I may get that out. I haven't had a problem with the TEMU stamps. Just one stamp, the watercolor world map one. I think it's because of the watercolor effect. I just really have a hard time getting it to look right for me. And then y'all, we get into a little debate on China and whether we should be buying from China-based companies. That's always fun. Y'all can comment away on that. It doesn't bother me at all. And then Tatiana Gutierrez says, sounds like you're, quote, eating worms, unquote, as my great-grandmother would say. We are all entitled to our opinion. I love TEMU, parentheses, my opinion. I think she's commenting on people's opinions about China, buying products from TEMU because it's a China-based company. But, oh, I guess she was replying to a certain person's comment. And then that person says, eating worms. Yeah, I didn't quite get that. Well, okay, if you want to support China, tell it to the Uyghurs. I don't know what that means. And then she talks about an article about that. So that's on there in my comments if you want to look for that. Oh, and then Tatiana Gutierrez tells me, it sounds like you have a problem with little pieces. Yeah. Does anybody enjoy working with pieces this small? Perhaps you should only order larger dies. Well, it did have larger dies. It had larger dies in it. This is why I got it in the first place, I do believe, because I love the large die, and this specimen die were fabulous. I love them. I did buy them for that. You would probably have an easier time with your organizational skills that way also. Okay, I don't have a problem with my organizational skills, Tatiana. Like, what? My stamps and dies are organized beautifully. Thank you. It's okay to be overwhelmed with smaller pieces. No, it's not. It's not okay to be overwhelmed with smaller pieces. You know how I am going to not be overwhelmed with smaller pieces? I'm going to take these and I'm going to dump them in the trash. Boom. Gone. I wanted to show you also, I did, I finished projects here. I did this specimen card. This is a sticker from my Christmas sticker book that I hauled from Amazon with a little joy. So I thought I'd try to do a little Christmas theme since we are Christmas in July. And here's one. Oh, that looks crooked. A reindeer with the negative of a number, specimen number cut into the bottom there. Where are my other dies? Oh, and these are just with some flowers from a book, and I cut the number into one of the labels and glued it on there. And then this one got crooked in my machine, but I just put the whole specimen die in there and cut out the die, left the negative. And then on my little file cards, I tried to do a little Christmas theme, and that is the negative of the word archive. I don't know if you can see that very good. And then in here, I just glued in the negative from a sheet of the negatives. Where is that? Well, here they are on white, but I had some on other colors too. So here are my negatives. Then you just cut out whichever one you want and glue it on your project. I just want to thank you all for your commenting and subscribing to my channel. I appreciate it so much, and I really enjoy reading your comments, and I do my best to reply. And I hope you'll keep watching, and let's keep having fun with some more Christmas in July. Bye.